Oh, hello. Sorry, when the cat's away, the voice will play. Well, in the previous video, I showed you how to do the rudder on one of these very, very cheap gliders. And I've been mutilating that. I'm going to make a pod for the top here and that as well. All right, like so. Okay? And that's going to be for the motor on, you see. And this way, if I don't want to have a motor, I can take that off and replace it with a different cutout. All right? And the reason for that is that I bought 4 of them. These planes. Seriously, I bought 4. I need 5 of each. I thought, I could do all sorts. Delta wings, all sorts. But anyway, this video is going to be about what we were going to do about the elevator. Because it's going to have simple controls on this one. It's just going to have a rudder and an elevator. So, let's remove the wing, which I've already put a polydihedral in. Instead of it being just a tip dihedral. Oh, what do they call it again? What's it called now? Oh, anyway. I'm losing my mind. So, we've got this section here that pulls out. Now, I've seen some people do it where they literally cut this right across here, whack a little tape on it, and that holds it and make a hinge, right? It makes some clearance for it as well. Now, I'm not that keen on that. And also, what you have to do is you have to take a chunk out of here, right? So that part, that section, can go up and down. So it's got some clearance, which then just weakens that, I suppose. But I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to do it more like this one, okay? And they're going to have 2 separate little elevators, and they'll be either linked together, like we would have done, like we do on ordinary planes, wooden planes like balsa, or I might use a double link on the bottom here to the servo. So effectively, it goes from 2 links to 1 link. So I'll make that up to the servo, which will be mounted on the bottom end. Only a little tiny little servo, so that'll be mounted there somewhere probably for the elevator. And that's my idea. I'm hoping that'll work. Either that, I can, obviously once these have been hinged, I can create a link here, alright, or a through link if I want. A through link is a bit hard because of this shape here, you see. You'd have to go, the through link would have to poke through there. They're all places for it to bind and get jammed up. So anyway, I'll just do this. First of all, I need to cut my elevators. So that's going to be my first trick. Is going to be cutting the elevators. Now, let's put you on the other camera. Overhead camera, here we come. There we are. So this is my tail section, which is a funny old shape. So we're going to create 2 little elevators. Now, what I'm going to do is actually that way up. I'm going to put that way up for the moment, make it easier to work on. I'm going to cut one, all right, and I'm going to use that one as my template for the other one. Now I'm going to eye that up with my pencil. I've got a fairly good idea what sort of size elevator I want to have. Alright, so that's probably about right, I think. I don't want any bigger than that. Maybe there. Alright, let's go for that. Alright. I'm eyeing up at that end. Ba, 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 ba. And then we'll mimic it on the other side. So I'll put a line through here. And then I'm going to have a line here. And I think that's going to be if anything, it might be on the big side, but I don't know. I think that's quite happy. Anything I'd say is, so if that's a line there, I'll come with a funny shape there. I might go a bit more there. I think that'll look better. So let's find a knife that is sharp. Oh, it was quite sharp. I've got this one here. Oh, that one's rusty, but sharp. So, all you need to do there is cut all the way through. And then we've got to do this twice. You could use a hot knife, or you could use a break off blade like this and wiggle it down like so. That's probably a better option actually. Got a straighter cut. Got to do the same over here. It's quite important that these are reasonably straight. Now, the reason I'm showing you this method of doing the elevators, I think they're going to be big enough. Yeah, they will be. That'll be pretty big enough. You could have a whole tailplane move, but on a glider, we're not necessarily doing a huge lot of stunts or anything. Like so. Yeah, that's a better way. I might create an actual knife for this job using an old hacksaw blade or something. So that is our elevator, all right, which goes. I can put my head again now. I think it's that way around. No, it's that way around. Yes, it's that way around. Oh, that's okay. That's a bit better. Well, that's loads better. So I could put a link rod through quite easily on this side because it'd be underneath. Right, so that's going to go on there like so. And now I need the opposite of that, which is going to go on that one. I know what's the shape now, so you can reverse the. You can make it so it do like loops and stuff when you're just using this chuck glider. Now they're not bad little gliders, but as a chuck glider they ain't very good because they aren't trimmed very well. They always seem to go out of trim, sort of go one way or the other, and that's partly because they're quite flimsy. They're quite floppy things. These planes are. Right, so there we go. So follow my line, like so. Yes, seems beyond. Get yourself a cut mat, very useful. They're not very expensive. There, like so. And this method can be used for elevators, ailerons, and rudders. As you see, it works really well. Now, I actually use a piece of the plastic box, right, for my rudders, for my hinges, that the motor came in. Simple as that. Now, you could use these hinges, which I've mentioned before. Okay. If you've got a whole full length elevator, well then you could get away with 2 of them, but I'm gonna have to have 4 if I use those, and that's just a bit overkill. So now I just got to look for pieces of plastic I can get out of this. What can I get out of this to make hinges? They don't need to be that wide. If anything, I made the ones on here a little bit too wide, so there's a bit more resistance in it. We don't need that much resistance. Now remember also that they quite often people make these planes by using tape for the hinges. I don't like that personally. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just not my thing. I'd rather use this. Alright, so I'm making it a little bit narrower this time than I did for the rudder because I want it a little bit more flexible. Because they're only small, very small servos. They're little 9-gram servos. And they've got to be small servos because obviously it's a small plane. So that's obviously going to have less resistance. You can put a fracture in it if you want to. Right, it's not, you're not like create a bit of fatigue in it. I might even do that. So that is long enough to do 2 out of that? I think so. Yeah. As long as I glue it in well. And what we do is fold it. You want a little bit longer than what I've done here, to be fair. And I folded it this time, and that's why I've created a little floor in there, like fatigue. Let's do the same on this one. Now this is not really any different using a material called mylar, and that's a material that we used to use years ago. I don't even still get it. I don't know. I don't even know what mylar is. It's like a form of plastic is all it was. So anyway, I hope it was in the frame. So I've got these 2 little hinges now. There, I don't know if you can see them very well. 2 little hinges, one there and one there, and they are going to be used for attaching the elevator. So we'll do one first, and then we'll do the other one. You need to have some idea where you're going to put the elevator. Make sure you're using the right piece you cut out. Double check your sizes. Something I ain't done. All right, you're going to have to shorten it a little bit. So you've got to take a tiny bit off the end. You need some clearance. Here. Okay. Not only that, you're going to need some other. You need to create some more clearance as well. Actually, I'll show you in a second. Come on. Do you know what I need to do? I need to get loads of sandpaper on boards and stuff. We're in here for doing this job. So, like a flat board so you can sand on. That's right, that's good. But at the moment, it's a square edge. And a square edge isn't, when you put a hinge in there, it's still not going to be able to move, is it? Because it's going to bind on itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that. And I'm going to find my centre line, roughly. Just give me a bit of an idea. So, and then a little bit, mimic that on the side there and the side there. And then we'll carve that off and sand it into a round. Or just keep it as a V, it's up to you. So we're just going to carve a little bit of that off there. Mind you don't carve yourself. No, there's another good reason to have a block of wood with a piece of emery board or something, you know, emery paper, or just aluminium oxide would probably do. Glue to it, because you can use that, make it a lot easier to create nice flat surfaces. Yes, fairly straight surfaces when you're sanding. And I don't think I've got any in here, so I have got some emery board though, like this piece here. So I could sand that on there, like so. There, not there, there, and not there. Just check and see if I haven't got any sandpaper. I haven't. I think it was sandpaper. It's not sandpaper. Aluminium oxide paper, or so I'm just sort of sand that a little bit on the round. It's for a very good reason. You need that, all right? Otherwise, it'll bind. You need that round. Now, if you get your hinges on the flats on the top edge, like you would do if you use some tape, yeah, well then it's not an issue, because you've got your angle on the back there anyway, and you have two straight angles. Whereas I've created a round. Have a hot plate. You can just do that. That'd be good, wouldn't it? So now that should fit on there and should be able to move freely from the end. So there's a little gap then now on that end there. Can you see it? You can just see just through it, just gently. So yeah, I think I'm quite happy with that. Give me down, give me up or down. Oh, my dear wife's come and brought me a coffee. Oh, she come bearing gifts, she has. Can't be bad. How you doing, darling?
Why are you live?
No, I'm just making a video.
Oh, okay.
I was live.
Oh,
And now I'm making the video.
I thought I didn't let you into the coffee.
Oh, always. Oh, look at that. Look at that coffee. Proper coffee. Thank you, my darling. Love you. I won't be long. I suppose you need to do some gardening as well, don't I? Let's cut that a little bit there, I think. And here. My dear missus, she was asleep in the hammock. She had her mouth open. I felt like putting like things in it. Can't help myself sometimes. I say it like that. He sleeps with mouth open. He's just asking for trouble. Right, so that'll do on that side. So let's get that one glued in, and then I can work on the other one. All right, and then I'll have a pair. Now you could shape all the back end, because it's got a horrible square edge to the back, isn't it? So you could shape it all up, but you never get a finish, can you? I don't think I'm gonna worry on this one, to be honest. So we just want one about here, one in the middle. Like I say, if you're doing it with tape, you'd put the hinges near the edge, not in the middle. Right, so I've got that one there. Let's stick that in there like so. Make sure it goes in up to the crease that I've created. There, that goes in there nicely. A little bit of super glue. Got my grandchildren coming over soon. Quite looking forward to it, actually. They were really fun last time. Tired me out. But we live in France, you see, so we don't see him very often. And there was a threat that we might not be able to see him this year. So, anyway, they're coming. So they're coming in a very short period of time. Right, a little bit of activator on there, just make sure that one's dry. And then I can then do the next one. I'm quite happy with that. Where have I put it? Oh, here it is. I'm sorry this is white. It must have caused a bit of problems with the lighting. Right, I'll go a bit further in from this, but it's quite thin on the end. So I'm going to go about there, I think. You see, if it hits anything, I don't mind it actually bending, but if it's too rigid near the corner, what I'll do is just snap it. You take chunks out of your airplane. Now, you could make balsa, control surfaces if you want. They don't have to be cutouts, do they? But the whole plane is EPP anyway, so it's like, you might as well stick with what it is, I suppose. Find me out. That's what she said. Oh, did I say that? Right, there we go. Go in there. a little bit of activator just to get it going so it dries quicker. You can use your crease as a way of knowing how far in you got to go. Should be in there now. And then, yeah, just about. No, I haven't stuck yet. Not so keen on that one. I have to try and get more, go a bit close to this edge for some reason when I cut it, which isn't so good. Let's just put a bit more glue in there. You could use hot melt glue if you want. It's a bit messier, but you know, still works. I don't know what it is. The white EPP, you know, the polystyrene, feels. Doesn't feel substantial as the red stuff. I don't know why that is. Looks more like a packing crate. Right. Right, so just mark it on there like so. A Sharpie would be a good idea. I've probably got one there, actually. For marking purposes. No, I've got a small Sharpie. I've got a fatter one, but that'll do. Oh. I put the dot in the wrong place. Okay, let's try that again. Let's mark that one out. Cut that one out, sorry. Try and keep it straight this time. Oh, that coffee smells nice. You know when you've had like proper coffee and you realise, that other stuff's horrible, isn't it? You know, like instant coffee. Oh, it's just, I live in France and it's just, you know, coffee is very popular here, whereas tea is not. And I'm not a big tea drinker anyway, personally. Okay, now will that go in now? Yep, that fits in there nicely. So, nice surface there. Alright, that's pretty good. So it's got to put some glue in there into that slot. And then we can slide. I wonder if I put the activator on it first. So that goes in quickly. That should be fine. That's it. That'll dry. It's lined up there. Make sure you've got your clearance. Oh, scraping. Might have to trim that. I've actually put it in too quickly and the activator's gone off. I've got to make sure you got your clearance. Otherwise, yeah, that's good. Now, when we used to balsam, we used to put a cocktail stick through, so it traps each end of the mylar. I'm sorry that's reflecting on there. Right, next one. All right, first of all, we need to get that rounded on there, don't we? Keep the centre like that, and then see whether or not we can. Have I got any spare blades for this? I'm doing that. Not there. I know where they are, but I'll have to get them later. Not now, though. So it's going to carve it off there nice and carefully. Like so, you could use a hot wire. It does create a bit of a hard edge, though. But you get like molten plasticky sort of, and also it's probably toxic. Yeah, inhale the fumes. Oh, lovely. Be like a vape. Right, so okay, I'm happy with that. And then we can just sand that round. Don't have to be round, but I'm doing it round. because that's what I'm doing. So there. And if you don't like it, write a letter. I was doing these live, live streaming, but there was nobody there for some reason. All right, there we go. That's good. I think that's okay. Let's have a look. Let's make sure. Might trim a little bit more off the end of that one. Feels like, oh, I haven't trimmed the end of that one yet, have I? You must have a bit of clearance on the end. Let's do that. Oh, a bit on that one there. In fact, you get these for like £5, these planes. I think that's pretty good, isn't it, really? Yeah, if you want something to start out. Now, I just noticed something on this one. This bit of moulding, the original moulding, has a bit of an uptick on it. Now, that will cause you some trimming issues. Now, ideally, this should be a different shape anyway. This should be an Air Force shape. As you can see, that's like a square lump in it, So you could get rid of that, but I'm going to have to get rid of that edge that's sticking up at the moment. I need to find a way of actually finishing this foam off if it's possible. You see, when I used to do foam type models before, the wings were like Abishi veneered and stuff. Really nice things. Put the weight up, obviously. But this modern foam, they're using this sort of APP foam, it's a lot stronger. And they don't bother doing that anymore. Is this one uptick on it? No, that one's right. Just this end. Had a little bit of like a burr almost. So that's on there like so. That looks happy. Alright, so we need some hinges. A little bit more there. We need some hinges. What can I salvage out of this now? Well, I've got this big area here, haven't I? What, a bit on the side there. You could use Coca-Cola bottle. Anything really. As long as it does the job. Side head's a little bit thinner actually than the other side. It's on the bit that's more stretched, it's been made thinner, which isn't a bad thing. Can I get the two out of that? I think I can. All right, let's straighten that up. And then fold that in two. I should be able to get two hinges out of that. Fold that in two now, just to make sure. Gives me my crease line. My crease line gives me my knuckle for my hinge. Don't know, actually I think I made that too short actually. Oh god. Let's try something different. I'm gonna put these thinner, you see, because it's thinner. I might make these a bit longer. I think. So go that way instead. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's straighten up there. So these ones are gonna be a bit longer. I've probably got another motor I could take out of the packet actually. I've got a drone that I'm supposed to be building. It's got 4 motors for it with speed controls and stuff. So I do need to do that. But when the thing is, you see, when I bought my first commercial drone, which was a DJI Professional 4, no, Professional 3, DJI Professional, yeah, 3 Professional. Really nice thing it was. I kind of stopped building the one that I was building. You see, because I had this fancy thing with a really good camera on it. And I've still got a commercial drone, which is my little, I had this one by, they call it Parrot, which is a French company. Really good drone, compact folding drone, a bit like the Mavic, but a little bit more compact. But DJI made some really good ones recently. There's one I'd like called the Neo. And that's not folding drone, but it's all sort of tiny little thing it is. Really small. You just stick it in your pocket kind of drone. And the thing is, you see, there's laws now regarding the weight of aircraft. You know, like 250 grams. You ideally want to keep it under 250 grams. This won't be, but it won't be an issue. Right. So same same I'm gonna have to create my slots in here first. And like so. So like a refresher in that, yeah, remind you just like so. Like I said, you could use some hot melt wire or something, or I think for this job it might be better actually than just cutting it for the hinges. The hinges, yeah, that'll make that sort of stiffen the plastic up as you do it. Look at this one. I think it's deep enough. And this is a bit deeper in this one. Yeah, a bit deeper than that. I think you can just heat your knife up. Yeah, but those are little windproof lighters. They're good for that. Should I try it? I could try that. I might try it in saying I've got one of those little. They're like little mini blowtorch, but it's not. It's actually a windproof lighter. Come on, get in there, yeah. That's way too long anyway. Let's cut a bit off that. Cut a bit off that one there. The dog's come in to say hello. Hello, dog. I'll give him a treat. Would you want one? There, door. That's my Pandora, that was. Oh, there you go. I know you can see it, but believe me, it's a dog. It's got 4 legs and a tail. Right, and where's my other hinge? What have I done with my other hinge? It's not here. Oh, here it is. Tell you what, I'm going to do what I said. I've got a little blowtorch here. Look. There. Let's heat up the blade. Blade needs changing anyway. Let's see whether or not that'll work. If it's any better. Now, when you heat anything up like this, you need to make sure you're just at the tip of the bright blue colour. That's the hottest point. All right, see what happens. Oh my God, well, that goes in easy. Ridiculously easy, if anything too easy. Right, so where's my bit of plastic? Where's my hinge gone? Oh dear. I've lost my hinge. It's so transparent I can barely see it. I found it. It's here. Well, that's definitely an easy way of doing it. That is. Yep, that'll do. I might do that with the other bit as well. Turn it off a second before I burn myself. Alright, so I'm going to glue them in. But you see the slot's much fatter, which might be a bad thing. Because obviously you melt as it goes in. This slot's a lot thinner. Alright, so I'm going to put a bit of activator on that. Alright. And I'll have to be quick to put it in. Alright, that's it. Oh, God, it's stuck already. There you go. But that worked. Actually, that's loads better. That's a better idea. And I've got this one here. I need to put a bit of activator on there. And it goes. Quickly, does it? Oh, in. That's in. Yuck. Stick my fingers to it. Alright. Alright, that's good. Not quite in as far as I'd like that one, but I can't do nothing about that now. You can see the hit. I've gone in a little bit shy. Right, but I think we'll use the heated method next time. on the tailplane. So here we are, our tailplane. We're going to mark that on there again. Line up that end, this end here, this end. Not that end, because that end I've got the clearance, you see. I'll just go from there. All right, let's grab my pen. There. Oh, didn't like. There you go. All right, make sure it's not anywhere near it, so not just in case I knock it over. La 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 la. Fire! 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 All right, I think that's not enough. I tell you what, it's easier in many ways because why it's easier because you've got more control. It feels like I've got more control. Don't overheat it, because it might make things harder for you. Because that went in nicely. Oh, where are you? There you are. Okay, out you come. Oh, don't do that. These these do come with a little base. They fall off though. The bases fall off. These little lighters. It's like that camping type light, you know what I mean? Yeah, I like this idea. This is a better way of doing it. It's also strengthening up the actual slot because it's making the slot more like plasticky, like a plastic lining to it. I think that's probably about right. Make sure that's just going to be quite deep, that one more, because I didn't go in as deep, did I? Oh, that's all the way. That's in far enough. And that one. Yep, that's it. That's in. All right, let's turn it off. Oh. That's pretty good. All right, so let's put my glue in my slot. I recommend that way of doing it. I think that's better than just trying to cut it with a knife. But don't overheat the blade, because it just try and melt the sides of the hole, and then you just too much, and you'll just end up with a load of what's the phrase? Oh, well, gaping hole, I suppose. I've got to get that in there quickly. Got to get in there quickly. And I'm not, and it's not going in. Oh, damn it! Oh, that's right. Oh, that's a few. That's good. If anything, that one's a little bit on the tight side. Might relieve that one a little bit. That one's nice. That one's floppy. Nice and floppy. I might actually put more. I see that hinge is just. How to put it? Gaping a little bit. So the hinge is bending in the slot a little bit. So because the slot's too, I just filled the slot a little bit. Okay, make sure that's gone into the slot, and then pull that up a little bit there. This one, when it won't move at all. That's better. Yeah, that's better. It's more. Yeah, that's definitely better. Because that's the first time I did that with a hot melt, that wasn't very accurate. So you've got your clearance. The elevator's going up and down nice and neatly. You know, you can improve around there a little bit of sand and improve. I usually don't. Little nail file things are quite good. I'm quite happy with that. Nice clearance. Make sure you've got your clearance here and there's no tufts that are going to jam up. We got to remember, if there's any restrictions on there, right, and your servo's trying to do its thing, it could end up damaging these very fragile control surfaces. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And that one. Maybe a little more. Just a bit of sand in down there so it's not so resistant. Ah, that's better. That's loads better. There as well. Yes, plenty of space there. If you find you've gone a bit tight on this one. I've gone a bit tight on. You see that I've got like a little bit of a gap behind it. So that's fine. I've got a lot more movement on that one than I have on this one. Probably, I don't know. It's better saying. That's right. That's cool. So now I need to link these somehow. Right, otherwise, they're going to work. Only one will work, won't it? If I have one control arm. So I could have two linkages, one there and one there, coming back with a wire, like I mentioned. So we place that into like so. So I do need to link these together. Oh, crikey, the other way I could have done it, and I should have. Oh, that'd been better. Would have been better. Oh, you silly boy. What I could have done, I could have used like a bamboo kebab stick or something. Not kebab, kebab stick. Like a bamboo kebab stick, glued it right through into there and into there. And that could have been the link arm, so they basically are linked together. But now it looks like I'm going to do it a different way. I'm going to have some form of link between the two. Or what I said earlier, where the control surface is where it goes to the servo, come back and link together to the servo, wherever the servo is going to be mounted in the fuselage at this point. Now this feels alien to me, mounting the servo up here, but because he's so small you can. Because normally I'd put all my servos usually here under the wing. That's where I normally do it. Now, yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Now we have rudder and elevator control surfaces. So next stage, I suppose, will be another video. And it will. Oh, do you reckon? What do you reckon? Maybe. Yeah. So we've now got control surfaces in the tail and in the rudder. So that's one stage nearer. I need to stiffen this fuselage up. I'm not happy with that at all. You know, when you've got the power of the motor and what have you, or if it's a bit breezy, that is just, yeah, not great, is it? No, because it also twists that way as well. So I'm going to stiffen that up. No, I am. Anyway, but that's another video. Toodaloo! Don't forget, boot the old like button.